Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, beautiful people. My name is Francine. I'm here with my channel, The Hermetic Herald, here for another channeled message. I was about to say video, so I don't know what combination that was going to be, but I wanted to see if I could touch base on JayZ. So, I feel like, I don't know, I'm hearing lyrical. I know that he's lyrical as a rapper. I feel like I need to touch base on a couple of your requested videos, but I'm feeling this card really strongly for him. I wasn't intending on starting off this way, but I feel like this is how we're supposed to do it. So we're going to talk about JayZ's childhood, how that was for him, attributes of his parents to kind of get an idea of the people surrounding him, in addition to his parents. We'll see who else comes through, and then also about his other potential children, meaning there's been a lot of rumors and talk about him having another child out of wedlock with another person. I'd like to ask the question, or is that person their child, JayZ's child? As far as paternity, I don't know if he's already looked into that or if he knows that. I just want to see what that is and what was going on in that situation as well. So I'm trying to get some just background information and insight for us so that we can understand JayZ as a whole, because I feel like there's something about his energy and a number of people, specifically a really great friend that I've acquired from this channel, mentioned in regards to his timelines, in regards to their relationship, his relationship with Beyonce in particular, and about his tendencies. If he's going to get it right, which I would hope he would get right in this lifetime, let's see what timeline he's on currently and what his trajectory is. Okay. I'm going to kind of flow through this because I feel like this reading is going to go a little bit deeper. I got the star coming through as I was shuffling. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a bit more celestial, a bit more spiritual than my other readings. I literally had to douse myself in Florida water. If you guys know what Florida water is, it's like a protection thing you can use with your, cleaning your floors. People use it in practices within hoodoo. I'm not going to pretend that I am a practitioner of hoodoo. I am more so integrating experiences from past lives, and I feel like an understanding there with regards to hoodoo, but I am still new at it. I'm focusing mostly on just protecting my energy because I feel like this energy is very interesting already. All right. So, first deck that really called to me before we see this card right here. Let's look into what is JayZ's, what card ancestors of JayZ. Those of you that are here, please just help us understand and assess what his childhood, I'm hearing what his childhood needed. What did his childhood need? What is your advice in regards to his childhood? Very interesting way of addressing this one. What did he need in his childhood? Okay, wow. 4 things are coming out, but I'm hearing 5, so we're going to do one more. Wow, that came out in reverse. Okay, so nature, interesting. I'm hearing poetic language, so excuse me as I try to collect my mind, collect my thoughts. So you know how like little plants, weeds will grow between pieces of cement? I'm feeling like he was able to find the beauty of those weeds in the process of living in a difficult situation, and I'm hearing in the projects. So I feel as though nature spirits were being known, or were trying to reveal themselves to him through rock formations around him. So there were some places that were, I'm hearing, intact, that he could go to as a free man. I don't know why I'm getting free man, because I'm thinking about his childhood, but I feel almost like his soul was a lot older, so he felt like a man even as a kid. Nature spirits were there for him. They helped him go with the flow. They helped him not push back so hard against things that he really disliked or really didn't want. And they helped him vocalize what he was feeling and to find himself. So I'm getting the sense of a very protective energy around him, trying to guide him, lead him, nature was guiding him as well, but I feel like his ancestors were trying to also help him go with the flow, because I feel like they also recognized some karmic energies, karmic feelings or karmic experiences that he would go through inevitably. I feel like they knew, like, this is about them seeing from afar that he would experience a number of things, because they knew his parents and they knew his parents' parents and they knew his parents' parents' parents. And it was like they were resting in the fact that they were at least able to tangibly help in some way. Tangibly in the sense that I feel like he had a connection with some passed on people. Go with the flow. He was taught to go with the flow, to kind of go with what people told him on a whim. Like if his parents told him something, it was more authoritarian in that he had to do that, and he kind of just would have to learn how to bend his will or to allow himself to go with the tides rather than pushing against it, because I'm hearing if he pushed against it, he would die. He would feel he would go through some hardships. I'm getting the vampire attribute at the bottom of the deck, which is telling me as a reader that he went through some really karmic and also very codependent energies. He was young at heart. His innocence is still there in some way. I feel like it's greatly marred is what I'm hearing by a number of things, but he still is there. Deep down, his inner child, his innocence, purity, and redemption suggests and shows a special connection that he has with the divine. His soul had to cover up some aspects of himself in order to be palatable. He had to reveal emotion in the way that people accepted, because if he cried, for instance, too much, he was beaten or he was affected in a negative way. I'm getting more so like sad energies, and he was very much focused on projections. So he had to project that he was happy even when he wasn't. I'm hearing cinnamon and churros. Does he like churros? For some reason, someone's telling me that. Sometimes people, I'm getting the energy of, like an elder that has to, resorts to physical, like slapping, spanking in order to get you into order. And then when they do that, they say, stop crying, I'll get you some cinnamon, or I'll get you something you want, and then you stop crying. That's the energy I'm getting from his ancestors. Someone in his ancestry was a little rough. I'm saying little, but we're pretty rough, and I feel like they almost used to placate him with toys or with sweets to help him. Okay. All right. Let's go into this archetype here. We have goddess. His attribute here that they want to talk about is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. He's had a lot of goddesses in his life, a lot of goddesses in his environment. I feel like his family was kind of matriarchal in the sense that the women were very much in their power. The feminine was expressed through their wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So he learned from a young age about the sensual nature of a woman, and I feel like he looked up to them. I don't know why I'm hearing halibut, but that's like a type of fish. I don't know. It's like he saw fishes as goddesses. Does that make sense? For some reason, it feels like, when they say like there's a lot of fishes in the sea, I feel like he saw women as fishes, saw women as something to attain, something to train is what I'm hearing. Train is very strong. He saw them as I don't like saying objects, but he really it was very teetering on the edge of being objectifying, in the sense that he really gravitated towards the alluring energy of women, and I feel like that was something that was I'm seeing like a rat trap. It was like a temptation for him. So goddesses in his life, he really wanted to attain them. He wanted to have something to do with a number of women in his life. His ancestors are saying this here. So we have begin writing now. Spirit guides. Honor the deities around you. Shine brightly. There was an independence about this family dynamic. So where JayZ was raised, I feel as though there was a lot of independence. There was a lot of joy. I'm not going to say joy, but more so it's like a pride. There was a pride about being in the family or being a part of his family. So with Begin Writing Now, it feels as though he was very good at expressing things. He could not help but express his gifts, his ideas, his thought life. He was very expressive. He had to find modalities to express himself because he felt like he would burst at the seams. And I feel almost like his parents saw the potential in him. So I feel as though they wanted to feed that, but he needed to get it out in some way. That was a necessary thing for him on his path. Now, the next thing we have are spirit guides. I feel as though animals were almost like a spirit. It feels like animals and nature spirits were around him a lot, but he didn't notice. I'm seeing birds specifically with the spirit guides card here. I feel as though he had some people overseeing or surveying behind closed doors that were his ancestors, that were his spirit team, but he was not aware. With honor the deities around you, I don't know why I'm seeing this bird here as a chicken on top of her head. So I almost feel like there was like interesting. There was like this, what's that word, spirit, that you're trying to tell me here? There was a sense of respect with poultry, with different things in their family. Even if they ate it a lot, I feel like they almost had like a sense of joy and gratitude towards the food that they ate because of either the way it was attained, like it was like gratitude in that they were able to have enough for their family in some way that's coming through. But there was this energy of like a deity around them as well that was providing for them. And it almost feels like Isis. So I feel like Isis is very closely intertwined with this reading. If you guys know Isis, I'm talking about the goddess Isis. I would recommend looking into her because I feel like his archetype with the goddess coming through and Isis, that he had Isis helping him. So I would look into that. He is shining. He was very prideful or focused on pride. And I almost feel like with Enjoy Music in the reverse, I feel like music was a way to escape. Because we had that come out in reverse there. Music was a way for him to escape, and he found great pride in that. Okay. So Spirit, let's keep going. What was his childhood like? Can I have some cards on what his childhood was like? We have the Six of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. Wow, very resilient. You remembered how I talked to you guys about the plants going through the sidewalk concrete? I feel like he was the one that reached the heights that many didn't think he could do. I feel like even though he had some difficulties with regards to money or some poverty mentality surrounding him, he was highly successful from a young age. We know that, but I feel as though his childhood was highly successful. Even though he was in a really difficult position that's coming through, he was very hardworking. In the sense of he always put work in no matter what. We also have the Queen of Wands. He also had aspirations and goals and dreams and passions from a very young age. And I'm hearing I rest my case. So I feel like interesting, Four of Swords is here, which tells me usually the energy of someone who it relinquishes energy from certain people. I feel like he had some connections in his past with the Three of Swords that he had to leave in order to do something that he wanted to do long term. So even as a child, I feel like he had to separate from some energies that were not helping him or not benefiting him in order for him to succeed. He had like a very like interesting adult perspective. Even as a Page of Swords, I felt like he was very like, I'm hearing trained, very well trained. So his parents, his mother raised him very well in the sense that he pursued things. He was very like optimistic about his abilities, optimistic about his ability to move forward, to be something. I don't know, there's something here about him having a lot of goddesses or matriarchal energy surrounding him that were very helpful in pursuing a contract or pursuing his dreams. Interesting. Air energy, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy is coming through here. Is there anything else you'd like to say about his childhood? Yeah, Page of Wands. He was a sly kid growing up. He was very passionate. he could almost be perceived as hot-blooded in the sense that he would get angry or he would get very emotionally connected to something. And I see here that he had a lot of pain acquired in his time as a child. So he started acquiring some pain pretty early on. I feel like it pushed him forward, though, pushed him into his dreams, pushed him into his goals. It was just tempering it. Okay. We also have here the Seven of Cups. So he had a lot of opportunities and things before him. He had a lot of indecisiveness. This can also denote that he had some illusions. His mind was kind of all over the place sometimes in the beginning. He had a lot of alliances. So he had people that he made friends with on different sides, and he had to decide often, like, who should I be with? This person doesn't like this person. This person doesn't like this person. How can I be a friend to these people? I feel like he tends to be a friend to a number of people, but then those people don't like each other. Does that make sense? Even as a child, he had to choose who he would sit with at lunch. He had to choose which person to go into a relationship with because they didn't like his ex, or a number of things were going on. So it seems as though interpersonal relationships, he had a lot of connections with people. He found connections with people that didn't like each other. They didn't like, does that make sense? Eight of Wands. He also was very communicative when he liked someone. He would speak out about how he liked them. Or he would say, you're with me, you're my girlfriend, you're my boyfriend, you're my... he would just say, I don't think he would say boyfriend, but he would just say things straight up as a young child. And people liked that about him. They thought he was very smooth, very like confident, and they liked that about him. He tried to take control of things a lot as a child. Yeah, he was really passionate, and he was really like communicative. And I think it made people laugh, it set people at ease, it made people feel like, oh wow, this little kid's gonna do something because he's in control, or he's trying to be in control of a situation. He was very smarter, he was a lot smarter than his age, than what people would expect from his age range, is what I'm getting. Okay. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors. With that in mind, what was his mom like? What would you like to say about his mom? What was JayZ's mom like? Okay, we have the Tower. We have the Chariot. Wow, okay. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. The Fool in reverse. Okay. So his mom was not very balanced. She was kind of crazy and sporadic. She used to I don't know if they used to move a lot or they used to transition a lot. She would go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing all the time. Longevity was not her thing. She was constantly in the Fool energy of starting over. I don't know if this is with relationships, like having other people in her life, like people that she was interested in and then not working out. But it was a lot of upheavals, a lot of transitions for JayZ growing up. His mom was not steady. If you look at these cards, nothing about this says that she was steady. Okay, bottom of the deck is the Two of Pentacles in reverse, the Four of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So she was always ending something to start another thing, to start another thing. And I feel like relationships were involved in this. So when I say that, I feel like she had other partners, that something didn't work out with his father. And the mom would go from person to person, or something wouldn't work out. Maybe they didn't like JayZ, didn't like her son, or didn't like something about her being a mother, or something like that is coming through. I'm getting the word roster. So I feel like they just didn't have expectations to be a father to JayZ, and that's what ended things. But she was not very consistent. Okay, I'm getting the Devil energy. She was more so in her Devil energy in the sense of having some bondage, having some restrictions. I'll show you guys that again. Showing you guys just the energy that I'm getting, because it's really more so about her having a lot of... I think she had a lot of luck, though. I'm going to say this. I feel like JayZ's mom was very lucky. I feel like she had a very young energy, a very maybe more so free and wild energy, because I'm seeing the Empress in reverse. So I feel as though she really wasn't I'm just going to say it. She wasn't initially meant or intended on being a mother. She was more so moving forward very quickly, very defensive, very independent. She was more so looking at the physicality of things. So I feel as though JayZ was not planned, okay? I feel as though she was going through some really conflicted energies at her time when she had him. And I feel like she was dealing with that. But she was always like very fortunate. She got the fortunate end of a number of situations. Some people, if they had gone through what she had gone through, would not be here today. And that's what I'm getting really strongly. I feel like she was a very a very strong-willed person, very protected, very much loved. And I feel like by her ancestors, that's coming through. And I feel like she went through some difficulties. I'm also like getting like this feeling in my teeth, which makes me feel as though she maybe clenched her teeth a lot, or she had some teeth issues like early on. For some reason, that's coming through, like sensitivities. I don't know why, but I'm getting like cavity type energy for some reason with regards to teeth. I'm not sure if she had some cavities or just had some like insecurity surrounding that, but she was a very strong-willed person, very communicative. She wanted to be very abundant, and I feel like she just ended up in a lot of karmic or conflicted energies around her, and I feel like that's why she had some tumultuous energies coming through. All right, so let's look into her JayZ's father. What was JayZ's father like? Interesting. We got the Queen of Pentacles right off the bat. That's more of a maternal energy. What was JayZ's father like, Spirit? We have a couple of cards coming through. We have the Five of Wands and the Ten of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Interesting. 1 second, guys. Is there anything else? I'm getting Justice here. Okay, Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. So with the Queen of Pentacles energy, what that tells me is that he was more so a generous energy. I think if I were to ask him, I would ask JayZ, was your father giving? Because I'm getting the energy that he was generous, or that he was a Capricorn energy that's coming through. He was just someone who was willing to give, focused on work, was very doting on his work life. I feel as though with the Five of Wands, though, he had some conflicts with regards to his like foundational beliefs and truths. I feel like he conflicted a lot with his mom, and I feel like this relationship really affected him negatively. I feel like he really felt weighed down in some way in this relationship, and I feel like he wanted to do right by JayZ. So that's what I'm getting. Page of Pentacles reminds me of JayZ's energy at this time. I feel like he wanted to either go through the legal system to make sure that he took care of him, or that he did what he was supposed to do. With regards to visitation, I'm getting, with regards to making sure that he was taken care of. With communication and stuff, he wanted to make sure he was always checking in to see how he was doing. That's coming through. So he was very aware of his need to be there, and I'm hearing tooth and nail. So he was like fighting tooth and nail with regards to him, with regards to the relationship. I'm getting the Hermit, and it was in reverse, so I'm going to keep it as it was. Hermit in reverse and Four of Pentacles in reverse. He was trying to open up to... He kind of let go of the situation with regards to JayZ and his mom. I feel like he came to this point where he had to either file a contract of some sort to keep some agreement with regards to taking care of him, and he left or walked away. I'm not sure if he emotionally walked away, because that's what the Eight of Cups typically tells me, is that he emotionally walked away from the situation into the unknown. I feel like something really overwhelmed him and he gave up. Okay, I feel like his dad was isolated a lot. He isolated from the situation. His truth was to run away, is what I'm hearing. I don't know anything about JayZ, but I feel as though his presence spoke volumes, and he felt left out in the dark by him. I'm just going to say that's what I'm hearing, and I'm seeing the Ace of Cups, or the Ace of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. I feel like JayZ's dad took the higher road in walking away from something, or walking away from this relationship, or something along those lines is coming through. Like he found solace in getting away and isolating. That was his truth at the time that he met, or at the time of his childhood. Something like that is coming through. Very interesting. Please let me know if this is resonating, because I don't know anything about him or his family. So this is news to me. Let's keep going. I don't like feeding into, you know, stereotypes unless it's real. So I feel like this is almost too predictable. So I would love any confirmations on whether this is the case or not. But that's what I'm getting, and I trust that. I just sometimes have moments where I'm like, huh? Just want to make sure. Anyway, so we have his parents, right? We have the Knight of Pentacles coming through. I feel like some things took a while for this family. I'm hearing that this family learned to love each other slow and steadily. I feel as though, I feel like the dad was slow to commit to his mom. I don't know why I'm getting that. Either emotionally, but I feel like practically he took some time to commit to her. I feel like it started out as a fling or as something physical, but it wasn't quite as serious. Yeah, 7 of Cups and 7 of Swords. This could have even been something on the side. 8 of Wands, Knight of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles. They had to move very quickly into raising him or into preparing for him. So they both went to work in terms of like trying to make something work out. But they were feeling really unbalanced when he came around. I don't feel like they were prepared. Okay, I feel like she had a lot of love and she wanted to have him. And she wanted to be in a better place, his mom, like peace with him, with the dad, and with this family. Death card is here, 9 of Swords, and the Hierophant. They needed to cut the bullshit. I almost feel like they had to come to a place of saying, what are we and what are we doing? And I feel like that question of, should we be together long term? Should we make it, you know, clear so that he grows up with 2 parents that are married, or 2 parents that are together? And I feel like that question came up from her side of things here. Okay, so between the 2 of them, what's the situation that you'd like to tell me, Spirit, with regards to his parents? We have here unexpected income, number 27. Ancestors, what would you like to say about this? Family room. So there is some opportunity for more money in their family by coming together and getting married. So they decided to be together. Coffin in reverse. House. Interesting. Child. Yeah, like what I'm saying, guys. I feel like with the coffin in reverse, though, I don't think that Kipper usually considers reversals. What's interesting is we have 19, 20, 18. Before the child came, they decided to end something in order to start a family or to start a home. And I feel like they tried to do this before he came into the world, before he was born. We also have gift and thoughts. They saw him as a gift. Look at these numbers, guys. 17, 16 here. And then we have 19, 20, 18. So it's like almost like things were out of whack. Like he came before they had the time to really think about this. I feel like she suffered some issues health-wise with regards to this, but she was very proud to have him. Yeah, she found out maybe that it would be difficult. I don't know if she had any other children, but I feel as though she had some difficulty in having other children. Next we have here is change. So I'm feeling like, yeah, this was a very big transition for their family. What's interesting is we had them getting married in the beginning, but what happened here? We have mature woman in reverse, and then we have occupation. I feel like she was trying to keep some balance with regards to her work life. She felt like she had a duty to continue to do her work. And I feel like they had to come to some custody agreement, or she felt imprisoned by the dynamic, and she wanted more for her life, more for herself, more for her pathway. Yeah, both of them are really hard workers, the parents specifically. I feel like they try to make things work, but I almost feel like the relationship kind of soured though in some way. So let me know what you guys know. Energetically, it just feels draining here. Yeah, I'm getting these two cards, Journey, and we're getting Main Male. So I'm feeling like that's JayZ. He went through quite a journey with his father, because I'm seeing Mature Man, Journey, and Main Male. And his father. Did he have a sister, guys? So I'm seeing that he has a half sister or someone that's potentially not like from like in the sense of being genetically like his sister, blood sister, biological sister, but there might have been a main female that a female like a sister that he felt like was a sister to him but was not biological. That's coming through. So I don't know if his father helped raise another person with him, but I'm getting that he needed to, it's like he focused on the good, focused and embraced his path. They tried to help him, take care of him. I'm seeing like just them trying to help him find balance, because I feel like his emotions kind of were sometimes pretty intense. So yeah, this is what I'm getting for the relationship between the mom and the dad. Were there any other family members that were significant? We have the Seven of Cups. There were a number of family members here. So there are a number of people that were not necessarily like blood relatives. I'm feeling like there were a number of mothers, a number of women that had children that were helpful to his family. I'm also seeing the Page of Swords, so that means that there were just a lot of people that were communicative to the mother, helpful to the mother. I also feel like with King of Swords, I feel like social services was involved in some way. Not to say that they were helpful, but I feel like there's something here about that. What would you like to say there? There was something about her needing to find balance financially to take care of him. And I'm thinking of like, you know, food, school lunches, different programs that were done in the community that helped her as well. For some reason that's coming through, because I'm thinking of her partnering with these people that kind of put her on a contract in order to negotiate something to help her. King of Pentacles is here, Five of Pentacles. Yeah, to help her with the money that she needed. I feel like she just needed a bit of I'm hearing adjustments. And then I'm seeing the Seven of Swords. So I feel like it helped her in some ways. There were a number of people in the community that were helpful to her, that will helpful to her family, ideally. But that's what I'm getting. A lot of either maternal energies, but also people that were very like clear with their family. That helped clarify or helped to provide some adjustments or encouragement to them. Okay, so yeah, let me just keep going. So what was the light attribute, main light attribute of his mom? What was JayZ's mom's main light attribute? We have a lot of cards. What was JayZ's mom's main light attribute? Healer. Wow. So that's about the passion to serve others with it's the passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit, ability to help transform pain into healing. And then we have also servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. She was a teacher, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom, and she was a martyr. She went through a lot to take care of him, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Wow. For her karmic attribute, we have companion, betrayal by misusing confidences, and loss of personal identity. In some ways, she lost her personal identity. And we also have storyteller that came in. So making up tales that harms others is coming through. I don't know why I'm hearing Columbine or something with BINE at the end of it. We also have Queen. Becomes arrogant when authority is challenged, controlling and demanding. She became controlling and demanding at times as his mom, which is not unheard of, but it doesn't make it a good thing, right? It's just something that I've experienced myself. So storyteller, companion, and queen are her karmic attributes. She was more so, she lost herself in this dynamic of being his mother. I feel like sometimes her identity was at stake, because I feel like she saw herself first and foremost as a mother, but there was not much balance there. I'm also getting the child eternal card, so inability to grow up and be responsible in some ways. So I feel like she did what she had to take care of him. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like she never really got to see herself and her inner child as heavily because she was trying to be there for him primarily. So I feel like she was able to be responsible, but I feel as though she had a very young energy to her where she was not responsible. It's like something that was not naturally done or naturally something she could do. It was something that took a lot of time and effort. So she worked hard to take care of him, to be a servant, or to be someone that could serve others, that could help him. But she does have this inability to grow up and be responsible. As we were saying with the Tower card earlier, extreme dependency on others for physical security. Her dependency on others was more so with the government, is what I'm getting. And she also had the gossip archetype coming in. So she just had some things with talking about people's business out loud. And she needed to not betray confidences, because we have that coming out twice. Betrayal by misusing confidences. So she would say what you told her the last time she saw you. And I feel like JayZ tried to confide in her in something, like whisper in her ear and tell her something about someone, and she would tell that person. He's like, Mom, embarrassed. I'm getting that energy coming through this reading. What was his father's, I'm hearing tech, what was his father's light attribute? He was king. Enlightened, benevolent leadership and benefiting those in your charge. He was the poet. That is expresses soul insights in symbolic language, and he was exorcist. So I almost feel like he was likely religious, because I'm getting the sense that you can be all three of these things within or without the confines of anything. But I feel as though he had this tinge energetically of being someone that was a Christian or someone that was very involved in his religion. It could be Muslim, Christian, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. He had a lot of certain views, integrity. I feel like he grew in his religious background while he had JayZ, or while he was a father, or when he was learning how to become a father. I feel like he had to learn how to keep and maintain his sanity, is what I'm getting. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in both personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. He had to be more balanced. An addict helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. He might have had some addictions. And I'm getting like a gambling addiction. Okay, he was like a person that wanted to do something different, but I'm not sure if he got to accomplish that in his life. Meaning, at the height of his youth, I don't know if he got to do all the things he wanted to do. Getting that energy coming through. He was a rebel. He had an understanding of justice, and he felt like the world was not justice oriented towards his, either racially or just in general towards him. He was very interested in books, very interested in learning and growing and understanding things better. He was book smart, let me tell you guys that. I feel like he looked into the Black Panthers. I think he was very interested and outspoken about that. For his karmic attributes, we have Judge, offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority, which tells me that he used to tell people things like they're against you, they hate you, certain things that would cause destruction or chaos. He conveyed information only for personal gain, so he knew certain things about the government, about people in the community, and he would share those things, but it was only for his personal gain so that he could get you to trust him. Spreads fear and falsehood. We also have Seeker. Inability to commit to a path once found. Is he a Gemini? And we have Priest. Violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. So he was in some spiritual role in the community, and he had people trusting him a lot. But here's the thing, he had verbal and physical abuse to deal with regards to saying things in a certain way that revealed really deep truths about how he felt about the world, and how he felt like he was surviving, merely surviving and not thriving in this world. Wow. Is there anything else? I feel like he was a child at heart, though. He just has he had a victim mentality. Wow. Playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. Okay, so let's go into more of, let me just clear things up and come into more of his child in question, this rumor about the child. So I'll be right back and we will continue. Okay, so I'm going to go into this other potential person that JayZ had, or rather this other child that was likely born out of wedlock. I want to see, is this, first of all, let's just get the record straight, set the record straight here. Does JayZ have any children out of wedlock? Okay, does JayZ, spirit guides, angels, ancestors have any children? Does he have any children that are not with Beyonce in this current reality right now? We have the Lovers. So he does. How many does he have, Spirit? Can you give us a number? Because I'm seeing the Magician. I believe it's just one. So Spirit, is it one person? Let me just put that. We have the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords. Please clarify, is it just one? We have something sideways, and that's the Page of Cups. So it's one person, okay? So we have at the bottom of the deck the Three of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Judgment. He has to come to judgment or come to the recognition that he had a third party involved, and that was how he had this child. It feels as though with the Eight of Pentacles underneath and the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Wands, it's telling me that he is trying to work on his relationship with his family in regards to his family with Beyonce. I feel like he's focused mostly on trying to maintain that relationship with her. And this person is constantly or consistently involved in his life currently. So what's interesting is how Spirit decided to give me the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords. He's stuck between two different mentalities or two different families or two different worlds. So yes, he has one child, because I'm seeing one with the Magician. I'm seeing one with the Queen of Swords. He has one child, one Queen of Swords that fathered this child. And I feel like it's someone that he had some, I'm feeling like escapade with, some like experience with in the past. But this is someone like that he hasn't really taken much time to know or get to know. It feels as though this is someone from afar. And what I'm getting is like, it could even be from like him feeling like this is in another world for him. This isn't another reality, or this isn't another, like, he feels like two people. So I don't know. It feels like there's two situations here, two feelings he's getting, and that they're conflicting with the Five of Wands. Is there anything else you'd like to say about this emotion here? Seven of Wands. He's very protective. He's standing his ground with regards to what he wants to create with Beyonce and have with her continuously. I feel as though he's very communicative with the person about not talking about this, or standing his ground with that person and having some really firm boundaries with them. So this person does exist. Is it the sun that was mentioned in the past, Spirit? Is this the sun that was mentioned in the news reports and such? Is this the sun that we heard about? So we have the Ace of Wands and the Nine of Swords. Tower at the bottom of the deck, guys. Seven of Cups and the Sun. He doesn't even like, interesting. So for the particular person that we're talking about, I don't think that person is his. That man, the person that came forward, I don't think that's his child, but he has another one somewhere else, or there's another one in the mix. So this is getting complicated. All right. So many of my cards turned over, if you guys can see that. So I'm trying to just get myself back in order here. So no, there's someone else. This is not the person. He feels strongly that this person has an illusion about him, and they think that that's him. But I feel like with the Tower and then the Nine of Swords, it can either mean that he's worried about how this will look on him. You can be worried and it still be your child. But I'm getting the sense that this is not. This is someone that like he has an illusion with, or like this person tries to say that it's his, but it's not. Or he is his, okay? Can't say it. This is a grown man right now. So, yeah, I'm not thinking that's him. Can you please confirm that, Spirit? Is this child JayZ's? This male that came out and said that yeah, I'm getting the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. This mother has been trying to tell people about this. We have the Hanged Man, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, and the Six of Swords in reverse. This is someone that's trying to stir up some strife, but this is not his legitimate child. I feel like Spirit would have told us yes by now. This is someone that he needs to heal from, because I feel like there's a very karmic connection. I feel like he may have had some kind of thing with her, but this was not his child. So does he have a child elsewhere? So we have the Five of Cups and the Hermit, the Four of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. He has not let her know. Beyonce knows specifically who it is. I feel like he feels a sense of sadness and loss for what he did, because I'm seeing the Five of Cups and the Hermit as her energy. And I feel like he's happy with not knowing who this person is. I feel like he's trying to maintain balance in his family. His focus is so primarily focused on Beyonce and his family. Is there someone else, Spirit, that you would like to mention? We have the Four of Pentacles, meaning that this person is a secret. It's a very heavy weight, oppressive weight on JayZ. He's been hiding this for a while, guys. This was someone that he had like a I was about to say threesome. I meant to say like a third party situation with in the past. He has yet to share about this. So as I was shuffling, I realized as I was putting all these cards away, I believe that is the end of those questions. I believe those were the questions we were looking for this reading, for the deeper look. And since it's getting a bit long, I'm going to end it there. If you have any thoughts that you'd like to bring up, any recommendations going forward, please let me know. But keep in mind, I do have a part 2. So I have a list of things, a part 2 list of people that I want to talk about here on this channel. So please check that out when it comes out first. And then let me know what your recommendations are. Or you can just ask, hey, what are you doing in part 2? Are you doing this? And if it is on the list, I'll let you know. But until next time, I hope you guys take care, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Please check out my exclusive content and personal readings that I have available for the month of October as well. They're very exciting, and I feel like you guys would really enjoy it. So check out my description box below, and I'll see you soon. Bye.